The tourist trap industry has made a long-standing business out of thrill-seekers and the hyper-curious. While some swear off paranormal activity, others love to investigate liminal spaces and explore why there is a common human experience of dread or a spike in adrenaline in certain places. Whether it be through a spooky chain narrative on the internet, a virtual visit to see haunting architectural evidence, or spooky photos of the unlucky history of an abandoned operation. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at 3 ominous locations. Tatakanuma Greenland Amusement Park. Popularized by making an appearance on almost every list of top abandoned theme parks, Tatakanuma Greenland can thank an early internet phenomenon known as creepypasta for its legacy. Creepypasta has its origins in the copy and paste culture of the early 2000s. While this practice is now seen as stealing intellectual property, it used to be very common for a few paragraphs of text to be pasted in random comment sections into emails and really all over the internet. Blocks of text that told the modern equivalent of campfire stories were known as creepypastas, and plenty exists surrounding the spooky, if not gruesome, history of this amusement park. The park originally opened in 1973 and only stayed open for an initial 2 years. Its opening was fairly successful in the beginning, perhaps due to the lack of competition in the area. However, the park would not reopen until 10 years after it first closed. The urban legends insist that these closings are a result of people losing their lives on rides. Stories feature a character known as Bill Edwards, who is supposedly able to document the park, which is significant because there are seemingly no photos available of the park in operation. To make the location more ominous, there is an old legend which determines that the park is nowhere to be found on a physical or digital map. The tale often ends with a detail about when Edwards was uploading the photos, only one would load of a young, ghost-like girl looking directly into the lens. However, the park almost certainly closed due to intense competition from Tokyo Disney and Universal Studios. It was no longer a profitable affair, and 10 years after closing permanently, it was demolished. While the amusement park was located in the city of Date, Japan, which is in the Fukushima province, there are rumors that a level 7 nuclear event steeped the rides in toxic waste. The coordinates of the location, despite legends saying it cannot be found, are readily available and accurate. Furthermore, the park is actually pretty well documented if you know what to search for in Japanese. Generally speaking, the Japanese sites that log the history of the park are unsurprisingly far more accurate than the tall tales that circulate the English-speaking corners of the internet. Dragsholm Castle. While this palace-turned-hotel is only 800 years old, it has pretty much cemented its reputation as Europe's most haunted castle. There are supposedly hundreds of ghosts that roam the halls, having passed away at various times in the fortress's history. After withstanding the Danish Civil War of the 1530s, the property became a prison for nobles. Later, during the rise of Lutheranism, there were many religious prisoners. Even a former owner of the castle was among them. But most notable was James Hepburn. He was the 3rd husband to Mary Queen of Scots, a troublesome noble and one of the 3 most famous ghosts of this location. History does not look kindly on him, as he kidnapped and very likely attacked Mary before forcing her hand in marriage. In an attempt to flee his past, which included dashing off with a former fiance's dowry and his rumoured involvement in the attack of Mary's previous husband, he was forced to land his ship in Norway due to a catastrophic storm. He was then arrested for not being able to provide the necessary documentation and was subsequently sent to Dragsholm, where he was kept in inhumane conditions. Barely given any rations, he was chained to a pillar which he supposedly walked around until he bore a circular indentation into the floor, the evidence of which can still be seen today. It is said that he went mad and his soul never left the grounds. The restless ghost is apparently known to be heard riding a horse-drawn carriage throughout the courtyard. However, according to a tourist site, the hooves heard by many customers must be something paranormal, as there have not been horses on the site for years. There are 2 more ghosts over which reports frequently arise, one being a maiden who was once perhaps the daughter of an owner of the castle. She fell in love with a commoner who worked the grounds. As a member of the noble class, this was not accepted, particularly by her father, who, in a rage, locked her into a prison and even bricked her up into the wall. She is known as the White Lady. The stories are corroborated by the discovery of a female skeleton, dressed all in white, found inside the wall. The final ghost, the Grey Lady. She is said to do random and supernatural acts of kindness as a thank you to the former master of the house, who treated a painful toothache when she supposedly worked in the castle. Six Flags New Orleans. When searching for Six Flags New Orleans, there are red banners that read permanently closed. However, New Orleans is no stranger to paranormal activity, and the city actively profits from its reputation as a haunted hotspot. New Orleans is, of course, also known for the devastating floods it suffered due to Hurricane Katrina. The abandoned Six Flags was no exception. Like much of the rest of the area after the water withdrew, the park was left looking significantly worse for wear. The Six Flags was already in financial peril, as its location was not suited to draw in the tourist audience that it needed to survive. While there have been at least 5 proposals to remodel or reopen the park in some way or another, all plans have been abandoned at various points in the process. Nonetheless, the property makes money by lending itself to being the location of several blockbuster film sets, who want to capture its sense of foreboding. Movies such as Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and Jurassic World have filmed here. There is also more rogue footage available of the theme park online, as it has become a popular attraction for urban explorers and ghost hunters. These thrill seekers have reported incidents of loud metal banging, ride motors randomly starting of their own volition, and just generally feeling like they were being watched. But be wary, while many do not feel threatened by ghosts, there are plenty of undeniably real alligators that now roam the abandoned area, as well as security cameras installed by the New Orleans Police Department. The park's entrance is still marked by a sign that announces "Closed for Storm," seemingly unaware of the devastation that would close the park indefinitely. These words are the title of a documentary that is yet to be released by online video documentarian Jake Williams. Whether you believe in the metaphysical phenomena at these locations or not, it is always worth wondering why some locations have the ambience of eeriness that they do. These shared experiences of unease are exciting and mysterious, and will continue to draw in crowds for decades to come. But what do you make of these creepy locations and the stories they hold? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.